Hey guys, welcome back. Rust Bucket Customs. We're going to do, I have a body swapped 1981 Ford F-150. I pulled out of storage the other day. It's on a 2010 Crown Vic P71 Interceptor chassis. Firewall, floor pan, dash, everything. I body swapped it probably 6 years ago. It's been a while, yeah. So pulled it out of storage. Power steering line blew to the rack. So let me show you here. I got this on Amazon. This is the hose. It doesn't look the easiest thing to put on, I'll be honest with you. Check out my new hood scoop on the Dodge. Look at that. Travel trailer max air vent. Oh, imagine the horsepower that's gonna add. Wow. Anyway, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I have it out here on the hoist. I'm gonna go jack it up. I don't think I'll jack it up too far, but enough to get under it, and we'll see how that goes. I'm also gonna change a tire because the tire went flat while I was in there, and man, those lug nuts were rusted on. I had to get a piece of exhaust pipe on the four-way. I got to get a new impact. The one I have is kind of crap. Anyway, this is a rat roddy 81 Ford hot rod, rat rod. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's something. So let's get this up to where it needs to go. I put this hoist in last year and I've only used it a handful of times, but it seems to work pretty good. Let's see if that locked in on the other side. Gotta come up another hair still to get that to lock in. Anyway, it's 220 hoist. I just run an extension cord back to the shop when I need to use it. It doesn't sit out in the elements that way. Let's see. Oh, another hair. For some reason I guess this thing's not perfectly level. I'm on wet ground here, and it's sunk a little on the one side, but it doesn't really bother me. Sits a little crooked, I guess, but it was dead level when we set it up. There you go, it's locked in now. So now we'll set it back down on the locks. That should be high enough for me to sit under there. I don't think I want to stand under there. It's just, yeah. Let's try to lock this down. Here we go. Should be good. Alright, let me get set up under here. I'll show you what's going on here. It's freaking Canadian cars, man, I tell you. Just crusty crap. So this is the hose. I'm not sure. I think it's leaking out of one of these elbows here. And this does not look like it's fun to get out. I'll tell you that, to be honest with you. But this looks like a lot of crap to get out of here. But I guess I gotta come in. As you can see that right here, that's got to come off. That doesn't look like it's going to come off too easily. And then in there, does not look like it's going to come off too easily either. I don't know how much video I'll get of this because it's you can't really get the camera up in there while you're doing this. But yeah, she's rusty crusty under here. Jesus. Canada, ugh, the weather, salt. The weather, the salt, all that stuff's just not good. So every video I watch on this tells me I have to remove that oil filter, but I seem to be getting that 10mm bolt out no problem. So, well, no problem. It's hanging out for every thread and doing like an eighth of a turn at a time, so it's taking me forever. But I can access it. There's a 10mm bolt right there. Halfway out, you see there. So, the fun one is going to be the one up there on the pulley. Where is it? There it is, right there. Yeah, at the end of that rusty line. So that's going to be the fun one. I might have to cut, it says that you have to cut a wrench in half to get it in there. But I might cut the tube off and then get a socket over it. At least to get the old one out. The new one will go in easier because it's newer. This one's rusted and crusted, so I might just cut it off with get a grinder in there and cut it off and try with a socket to get it off anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so this is the new one. I finally got the old one off. I'll show you what I had to do. Just 1 second. Alright, so this was actually this. So it has this big swivel part on it. What I had to do, I couldn't get a wrench in there. The way this bolt was positioned, it was so tight against the steering, the pump, could not get a wrench in, even when I cut the wrench short. If the bolt would have been turned a little, I would have been able to get a wrench on it, but the way it was positioned, I just couldn't do it. So I cut the hose off with some cutters. Couldn't get my grinder or anything in there. Then I took a die grinder and I just got rid of all of this with the die grinder because the only thing I could get in there. So, and then after doing that, I got a socket in there, on there, got this off. It was on there pretty tight. It's an 18 millimeter. Other than that, it came off okay for a rusty old car. This is just like that. I'm outside in my little, I got raspberry plants growing here, but they're just wild raspberries. Birds and stuff love them. Anyway, this is the new one. That's the old one. It's not exactly the same, but this is universal, I guess, with the Crown Vic and the Mercury Marquis. So it has this. I'm gonna have to put this in here to block this off because this is an extra line for the Mercury, I believe. Definitely not for my car. You got to take this off, put back on here. Just spread this apart somehow. Put this back on here. That's the hanger for it. And then I'm hoping this part here, that part right there, was this part on the old one, and you can see it took some of the housing with it. It was so corroded, you can see that, but better lighting. So it did take some of that housing off the rack and pinion. Yeah, so I'm hoping it seats properly. Also, you got to put O-rings in here, I guess. Oh yeah, okay, the O-rings come in the pack. Alright, I got this from TRQ. I watched their video online and then went to their Amazon store. This isn't a sponsor or anything, I just I'm trying out their part, so yeah, see if it works anyway. It's hard to get video underneath that car, or the truck, car truck, I guess. The way everything's so close up in there, it's hard to do it, so I just thought I'd explain what I did. I didn't have to remove the oil filter, like I said. I got a 10 millimeter wrench in there, and it came out. A little turn here and there, but it came out. So, alright, let's try putting this thing back in. I'm going to try to pop this apart. See, it's got a locking tab right there. I'll try that. And then we'll hang this thing back in there and see if I can get these things to seat properly. I don't know. I hear they're fun trying to get these to start threads again too, so we'll see how that goes. Man. Alright, so I got that clip put back on. Got this little thing here that goes on right around here somewhere, I believe. That just snaps in like that. We got to put this cap on, so we need an O-ring on that. I believe it's this one. 1 second. Yeah, so that just threads in there with an O-ring on it. O-ring comes in the kit. I want to snug that up pretty tight, but not over tight. I don't know what this extra O-ring's for, but it did come with a little one there. I'm not sure. Maybe it was for the Marquis. Different application for the different car, maybe. O-rings on here. Seals on there. I think we're ready to go back to the car and put it on to the truck. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. So let's try that. All right, so we're gonna hang this back up in here. It's a two-hand job, so I'm just gonna, there you go. That's hung there, that bolt goes on there. Oh, hang on, I didn't tighten this up. Let me should probably do that before I put it in. Tighten this little cap up. All right, we got that hung just by the hanger bracket. Now I'm gonna try to feed these lines in, and this should prove to be fun because, like I said, crud in this one. Kinds of crud. Like I said, that part I cut off took a part of the casting from the aluminum casting from a rack with it. So I'm hoping this one seats properly. I don't know. But I don't have my tripod today, so I'm gonna have to two-hand this. So I'll let you know. 1 second. All right, I got those new lines hooked up. I'm hoping they're not gonna leak. Like I had to bend up a wrench, small little 10 mil wrench to get in there. I guess might have been easier to remove the oil filter, but I didn't. So I bent up a wrench and it worked. They seem to be tight. They're not moving at all. Now, thinking back, I probably should have done this one first, because this is gonna be the hard one. But I didn't. Oh, that one there is kind of loose still, maybe. I don't know. Kind of seems a little loose. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try this one now. This should be the fun one.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, so I got that started. Geez, it's hard to get in here with a camera and a wrench. But anyway, got it started. You can see I had to cut this wrench down really short because you can't get in here. I don't know who designed this freaking car. Wow. And then you're getting like, there you go, quarter turn at a time. You lose the wrench in your hand every time. You can't really articulate in here at all. So you try to, anyway, you get the hint. I can't do it with one hand, but you get the picture. It's going to take me about 15 million years to screw that in, and then we'll see how it goes. All right, boys, I think it's all done. Finally got that line in. Whew, what a job. I don't know who designed this car, but Jesus, it's a little easier to get a power steering hose. Anyway, I'm hoping it's not going to leak. Like I said, that fitting took part of the housing away, so I'm hoping that's not going to cause it to leak. Hopefully it's not going to, it'll still get its seal. Anyway, I'm going to drop the hoist, put some fluid in it. We'll try it out, see what happens. Alright, I've got to drop down. I've got the wheels off the ground a bit, so you're going to have to bleed this system. So you're going to want to fill it up with some fluid. I'm just going to use, I'm supposed to use Dextron 4, I believe, but I just got this automatic stuff here. It says for Ford. So there you go. Maybe I'll get a funnel. This might be probably going to spill. Unless I do it with two hands. 1 second. I'm going to put some fluid in this and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm getting a funnel because the I spilt it. But there's a puddle under this anyway from where I backed it in when it was leaking. And it's just gravel, so it's not a big deal. It's not a driveway, it's not asphalt, concrete. So now I'm going to try to fire this thing up. And I got to put a battery in. I took the battery out for something else. Fire it up. I'll turn the wheels side to side a few times, get some air out of the system. Top it up if necessary. Turn it back and forth a few more times. Start it up for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Shut it off. Then turn the wheels back and forth a few times. Start it back up. That's how you get the air out, is what I'm told. Alright, I bled it a few times. It really keeps going down. So just keep putting fluid in it, cranking the wheels back and forth. Air bubbles should be coming out of it. Still a little low there. I ran it for a few minutes. I should have a tripod. But anyway, tell you what I'm doing. Yeah, I ran it for a few minutes, shut it off, or for a few seconds, shut it off, crank the wheels back and forth, 2-3 times. Now I'm going to fill it up and do it again. I'm going to crank the wheels again here and see what happens. See if the fluid keeps going down. Just circulate that fluid and get the air to come out to the top. Seems to be staying pretty good now. Let's see if it'll start again. Almost. Okay, I got it running there. I just spray it. Top the fluid up, crank it over some more, crank the wheels around, see what happens here. Whoa, what's going on there? Air in the lines, maybe. The wheels, maybe my pumps, maybe I toasted the pump because I drove it when it was low, but hope not. Well, it seems to be doing better now. I think we just had air in the system. See how low it's going. It's staying pretty good. I'm going to take it up a notch on the hoist because it's dragging on the ground a bit. Running really well. Fluid seems pretty good. Try and cycle it some more. It's alright. Just keep cycling it. I'm going to let it run for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Actually, I should take it up on the hoist and see if it's leaking, I guess. Probably get under here and see, but it'll be easier on the hoist. Doesn't appear to be leaking anywhere. I don't think. Yeah. So far, so good. I'll let it run for a few minutes and then I'll cycle it and see if any more air bubbles come out. Alright, so there's that connection I was worried about. Dry as a bone, which is awesome. And then that one up there too. Perfect. So no leaks. We got it going. It is leaking where I spilled it on the rad hose here a little bit. But that's to be expected, I guess, because I spilled down there. Oh yeah, no leaks. I think I'm very happy with that, so I might take it for a little test drive, see what happens. So I'm going to lower it down here and see. Check it out. Alright, successful video. Pump went in, or the line went in fairly well. Had, frustrating. It was a hard, tough little thing to do, but we got it done. Anyway, that's it. I made this over the weekend, or over the last couple days. I made this new parking area. Ordered in a load of gravel. Made this. The parking area used to come to about maybe the side of this truck here, right here, and so I doubled it. I doubled it up. Moved the shed over. The shed used to be right where the van is, kind of thing. So I can fit all my junk back here out of the way. You won't be able to see it from the road. Yeah, I ordered in some gravel. Yeah, so stick that back there for now. I am going to do some more work on this now that it is kind of running. I'll tell you what the problem is. I start it. It's after it's sat for so long. When I have to spray in the throttle body, some quick start, and it starts up and then runs, no problem. And it'll start up every time that day. But if I let it sit overnight, come out the next day and try to start it, it won't. It turns over like crazy. It won't start. So it's losing its prime, I guess. I don't think this fuel pump. Once it gets running, it is running. I changed the fuel filter. Thought it might have been clogged, so I had one of those, so I just changed it up real quick. Anyway, it wasn't that. Anybody has any ideas? Fuel regulator, maybe? I'm not sure. Is that built into the fuel pump on these? Not sure. So I got some cleaning up to do around here still. I just made this weekend. Those are all underneath all this. I might have a sawmill. I put all my cutoffs, buried them in the mud here, and backfilled it. Anyway, that's anybody has any idea on why this thing's losing its prime overnight, hit me up, let me know, and be grateful for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching.